Everybody, good morning. Forgot my headphones again. Third. Oh, goodness. Anyway. All right. Welcome, everybody. Rob, Sergio, Donald, Rex, General Rush. Good to have you, sir. Amy, Laturo, Darren, Swinburne, and Rongamer, Tim and Jen. Thank you for being channel members, everybody. Cliff, Jason, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So, retail sales numbers are out. A little bit of a meh, as Rongamer messaged me a minute ago. And right here we go. We have expected a 0.1, got a 0.5 on the core. Not too bad. I mean, certainly, if you look at the chart, I mean, it's kind of exponential decline. So, it's not like banging. It's not like 1. It's not like, 2 or 3 or 5 or 8 or 10 or it's just a 0.5 on the core. So, I mean, that is a beat, but in retail sales month over month period, we have a 0.4. I mean, the consumer is stressed. I mean, that's the way it is. We got, this is unusual. Unemployment claims came in exactly on the money right there. It's like just right on the money. And Philly Fed manufacturing, that may be the surprise right there. Expecting a 4.2, got a 10.3. Nice little pop there on the Philly Fed. And the cycle here, kind of see whoop, whoop, whoop. Probably on an upswing right now. How long it lasts, I don't know. You can see on average, we get these little dips, and we get a little pop, and a dip, and a pop, and a dip, and a pop. And last time we had a bigger dip. That wasn't COVID. This back here. And it's funny, we get these little dips in between, but really the cycle, if you just kind of glaze over it a little bit, it's like, was that a dip that was supposed to be there, or was it supposed to go like this? Looks like it was already on the downtrend, though, right over here. Looks like it maybe should have gone negative before. Anyway. We'll probably be on an upswing for maybe a year or two, possibly. Seems to be about the length of time it lasts. A year or two. So that's interesting on the manufacturing. Looks like it doesn't matter. While it does look like we could double dip on the dip there. Maybe this wasn't the trend going up, but it kind of looks like it is. Kind of looks like these are spikes that maybe shouldn't be there, and this is kind of the general trend right now. It's kind of interesting when you look at the manufacturing environment we've got going on right now. And that goes all the way back 24 years. Don't have data back further than that. Interesting though, I guess. And capacity utilization rate number came out. I mean, that's basically in line. The industrial production rates came in a little nastier than expected. A little lower, but that's a number that doesn't have much fluctuation to it. We get crude oil inventories. This has been a market mover lately, right here, at least for the oil market. So that's coming out at 11 right there. Treasury Secretary Yellen, we'll see what she says today, sometime this afternoon, around lunch. So if we get some sudden volatility and you're like, what the heck is going on? Might be that right there. If you're not in any kind of oil related anything. The markets were up overnight. And then tomorrow we get some building permits, housing starts. before the market opens. Not really big market mover numbers, but those will be, those kind of tell us what I'm kind of expecting. Light numbers there. I'm seeing builders scale back here in Knoxville, and I don't have a gauge bigger, broader, but we're seeing those home sales kind of declining. We're seeing the mortgage rates ramp back up again, and I don't know. That's could be a challenging time here. You look at the mortgage 30. We got a look at that. We got a roadmap bounce. Everybody see that? Like the patterns I look for. A 3-wave move right into the roadmap line. Roadmap line, right? Go off the high, go off the low. If we break back above that area right there, we're probably going up here to 8%. Isn't that wild? So here's the resistance. We'll probably come back up to this area right here, around 7%. If we bounce down, going down. If we go up here's the target. Like, JT, you can't do that on interest rates. You can do it on any prices. Look at that. Perfect corrective bounce. Has nothing to do with trading, right? I mean, but there again, look, it did the perfect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-wave correction right into the bottom of where 4 is. This meets all the criteria for getting another leg higher. So this would be the wave 3 and potentially push us up. Wave 3 should be bigger than wave 1. Holy cow. And then 4 and 5. Uh-oh. This could be bad for mortgage rates. My colleagues that were betting on this happening are watching when they just bought their new houses. May not be able to get that 3% refinance there. Definitely be careful. Well, that looks like the low right there. That looks like the low we're going to see for a long time. Now this could, we could, in fact, that could be a 3-wave up thing, and we could come down here, and we could finish a correction down in here, and then get a spike. So that path could possibly play out too. I don't know. Do we do that, or do we break through here and just go cruising on up? Definitely interesting, eh? We can look at the mortgage 15-year. Well, that didn't change. That's weird. There we go. Similar story. Move up, retrace. It's interesting. I find these things interesting that you can do this kind of thing here on just about anything that has price. Like this is price. Just about anything that has price. Look at here. 10-year note. Did I retrace? See this bust out. Break through the 618. Rally on up here. It's 10-year treasury notes. Or just recently, I was shocked. So, daily volume on S&P 500, or index options. It's just, let's just throw it into S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell. Just keeping it simple. Like the triple threat trades, the triple threat indexes. Roughly $1.5 trillion of money flows into and out of that ticker, those set of tickers, those indexes every day. Just about $1.5 trillion between the options and the notional and the underlying shares and all the derivatives. It's about $1.5 trillion. Now, interest rates, the interest rate market, swaps, notes, we're not talking about bonds. We're just talking about interest rate markets between treasury notes and interest rate swaps. That market is almost $8 trillion a day. That I hadn't really thought about it. I was digging into this the last couple of days. I was like, holy moly! That's why I started looking at the mortgage rates and stuff like that. This is kind of crazy. Like that, how big these markets are. Here's your 5-year note. Here's your 2-year note. Here's your Treasury bond futures. They've all got that same kind of pattern. Potentially going to bounce off the roadmap line there. This one a little bit shy. It's interesting. We've been down here for a long time. What does this do to the economy? What does that do to our ability to sell dollars? What does that do to our ability to pay debt? Definitely interesting. I'm not speculating on what the outcome is yet. It's just something to keep an eye on, though. Might be a storm a brewing. Not necessarily an economics professor. You know, I do this for a living, but I'm not not going to be speaking at the Brookings Institute anytime soon. I mean, look at this. This was on a downswing for a while here into these lows. And really, when we zoom out further, and this actually was a very prosperous time. Well, excluding this right here. Relatively prosperous time up into this peak. That peak just happens to correspond with 2020. Now, is this just a little correction and we go on down here though? That's the question. So Gaten, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback right there. I'm sitting here. I mean, I'm always looking for the next way I can improve things. So I'm trying. I'm working on it. I'll do the best I can to keep going too. Do the best I can, and your support, being a channel member, just helps me. Helps give me that freedom to try to build new tools. I've been working on something a lot lately that could vastly change everything I've done so far. Vastly. And just to tell the story, ever since, gosh, man, when I don't know where the story begins. Probably sometime in the 90s. I've been on the internet since 93. Well before I was 18. I was still just a young man with lots of ambition, if you will, in those days. And I've had one of my same email addresses since 93. And that's where I learned how to run chat rooms and stuff. Like, I started out, and I learned about AI, I guess, somewhere in there. And I got really interested in, rewind even further back. 2 years old, I got a computer in my house. I wrote my first computer program at 5. And, probably before I knew the alphabet and stuff. And then, I copied some other code, basically. I didn't, this wasn't like completely from scratch, me thinking about it. So I'm not any kind of idiot savant or anything like that. I was using a book and, trying to recreate code and make my own. But then, fast forward to the 90s, I got really interested in learning to program. So when I went to college in the late 90s, I decided to get a minor in computer science. And as a civil engineer, I caught a lot of crap from my whatever you call them, co-students or whatever. Like, why on earth, you're a civil engineer, you're not an electrical engineer. Why on earth would you do coding? Like, why would you want to learn how to code? And I was like, why would you not? Like, computers are pretty much everywhere and they're not going away. What would make you think that coding and learning to, having a computer science minor would not be beneficial? And people just argue with me. And, but I wanted to learn AI. Like, I wanted to know how to code AI, how it works, how it ticks. And so I took graduate level classes. Like, I had to take a crap ton of prerequisites to be able to take graduate level classes as an undergrad in AI. And, the teacher, I talked to him about several of my ideas. And one of them is training an AI to do encryption stuff. And he was like, oh, dang, if you make that work, like, he's like, don't tell anybody that idea. So, I had details to it. He was like, don't ever tell anybody that idea again. He's like, just work on it yourself. So that's out there in the background. I'm thinking about it. And then it could like blow minds on encryption stuff. But then I wanted to create an AI that traded the stock market. And he was like, it's impossible. And you read like any books that come out from AI professors, PhDs, they all say there's too much randomness in the market to make an AI work. And I understand that a little bit, but then again, I sit here and get lucky all the time, right? I see these patterns, I get it right. Why couldn't an AI do it better than me? They can look at more charts, it can look at faster, do it faster, do it better. I mean, heck, Elon's got cars driving themselves better than, I'd say, at least 40% of the population right now, if not getting close to 60%. And I mean, my truck drove me here today. And so I went down this. I've got this like gauntlet thrown. Like, people that my uncle told me, normal people can't make money in the stock market. So here I am doing this and proving you can do it. And then that professor tells me that you can't use AI to predict the stock market. I'm like, I've been on this problem for 20 years now, trying to crack it. Now, computers weren't fast enough. Like, I'll admit, until the last 3 or 4 years, computers just haven't been fast enough to even crack this nut at all. And that's been the big problem. Like, why are LLMs suddenly coming to life? Why are self-driving cars? It's all processing power. We haven't had affordable processing power available to, we made these things and it would take, you'd run it for a week. And now, like, the stuff I used to do in a week, you can do in like 5 minutes. And I mean, everybody knows, we carry these little supercomputers now that blow away the computer that supposedly, like the ENIAC, the first computer, like, took up a whole house. And these things like are like 50 ENIAC or 100 ENIAC, 1,000 ENIACs, I don't know. And so I've got the processing power now, and now I've got an idea. I've tried this. I agree. Like, using the index price action alone seems to have too much volatility in it to be able to predict future prices alone, at least on a small time scale, without doing something to the data. And that's what I've worked on that pretty intensely in the background, and I've created some things that predict tomorrow's price action. But really, when I got down to running some statistics on it, it was just calculating the ATR and the expected move for tomorrow. And it would give me a projection and about, I guess, 50, it was kind of 50-50. The price would be in that range, but it wouldn't necessarily hit the number. And I was like, all right, cool. I trained an AI to do the ATR. And I was like, that's not tradable. It doesn't help any. So yeah, I tried that across many tickers and doing some different stuff to it. And then more recently, I created the Apollo algorithm, which, it's the thing, like, through some of that effort and through creating the VVD algorithm, I was able to create this Apollo algorithm here. And yeah, I figured out a few things that I was like, light bulb. That's what, was holding me up for a long time, being able to do this automatically. And now my vision is to combine the power, like use the Apollo algorithm to find the entries, but then show the AI thousands of back charts and switch over. So right now I'm learning visual, how to use visual AI, how to feed it visual data, actual charts, not just the numbers that make up the chart, and let it tell me how good the setup is. Is it likely to work or is it likely to fail? Is there something I'm not seeing in the ones that fail that it can see, and something that is there in the ones that work? So it's going to take the roadmap pattern that I do and crank this baby up to 11, potentially. And for everybody that's like, well, I just want to take your system and cut out the losers. This is what I'm doing in the background to cut out the losers. Now, believe me, I don't like taking losses either. So now the best I have right now are those algorithms. The Apollo algorithm. For those of you in Echo Trades, the Echo Trade algorithm. For those of you in Triple Threat, the Triple Threat algorithm. They're all they're little tweaks on the same algorithm. And I think I can create this thing. And I've even got the bonus charts are running on another one that runs on the daily chart. So it's if the AI thing works, which I have 2 architectures I've been working on in the background, and that's why I've been really quiet in Discord the last few weeks. I've probably already spent 100 hours on this already, and I'm sitting here working on it every day, and I bought a very, very fast computer, not like Elon Musk type of H200s or anything like that, but what I could afford very fast. And once that thing gets cranking, it might take a week or two to really crank out and train a couple of these AIs, or maybe one AI and train for a week or two, and then we'll see how it performs. If it doesn't perform good, I'll do another one, and we'll see how that one performs and pit them against each other and see if any changes. But that's all going on in the background. So what's moving today, though? What's moving today? Yeah, I had shared that vision with my Termite Trading Lab people in June, but it's actually it's happening, sweetheart. Now, so that's what I'm working on. That's why I appreciate everybody that supports me. It helps me get cracking here. So helps me have time and effort and energy and resources to do this stuff in the background. So 15-minute chart, we came up, we bounced, moving up. It's yesterday I was speculating we could go down further, but at this point we're breaking out. We're just going the path higher at this point. So looks like in Q needs to break on out and get to the target. That's what we got. This is the big show right here. Looking for this one to break on out of this funk, do the extension, get to that move higher. Can it do it? I mean, that's where we're going. That's where I expect we're going. Right up there. At 21.5 area, 21,500. We'll see if we can get it in the coming weeks. Russell. Yeah, look at that. If we actually... Oh, man. Let's see. What's the high there? High was 2305. 2309. Yeah, so negated this one. Looks like we're probably going up to hit that target. That would be my guess on this one. Probably going to hit that right there. 2372. So if you're short an IWM, maybe not the best idea right now. Now it could fail here. Entirely possible. If we break back below that, we're probably going down, at least to the roadmap line, if not on further down. So, but that looks, I mean, there was the entry right there. And that looks like we're going to go up there and hit it. And negate all this consolidation in here. Even though that high and that low are overlappy, not my favorite to look at. Not my favorite pattern at all. That may cruise right on up here and hit the target. So in the face of new information, you got to adjust and adapt. That's the big thing. Like, I mean, politicians love to pigeonhole each other in. Like, well, you said your policy was this. It's like, well, in the face of new information, you should change your policy, right? I mean, duh. We have this uptrend of lows cooking. If we break down below that, we're probably most certainly going lower on oil. So watch out for that inventory report today. If it's an inventory build, probably dropping out. If it's a sudden like plummet to tank bottoms, we may see this. But we're seeing a lot of weakness in China despite all that stimulus. The demand has not even ticked up a little bit. It's still ticking down in China. So like I've said, just because you throw 5 trillion won at something, at the problem, it doesn't fix the problem. It's not an instant. Like, economies aren't instant. Like, they don't flip. They're not speedboats. They're 100-mile long trains that takes a while to get that baby turned around. Big oil tankers, cruise ships, you know, they take a while. They don't just flip around. So GC cruising on up. Come on, baby. Let's get that baby. Let's get that target. That 2720 is the next expected target based on this pullback that we did from right there in September to right here in October. There's the extension right there. That's the target. So should get that in the next few days. Of course, that there can be a pullback before we do it. That's possible. Bitcoin. So on the, I need to adjust some chart here. If we go off of the actual highs, we came up right to the downtrend of highs on the futures chart. So frustrating. This one, yeah, we busted through this lower trend line finally, and we're up to the upper trend line, and we're holding. So frustrating. If we could possibly, everybody go buy like 5 Bitcoins. I'm just kidding. Probably gonna take like, you know, everybody gonna have to go buy like 5,000 Bitcoins to really make a big difference. But if we can break out, this will run. Looking for this to break through that downtrend of highs. That's the resistance we're looking at right now. Stacked against us. If we can break through, looks good. If not, another trip down to the roadmap line, maybe a real possibility. Ethereum, Ether has not been able to rally up to the roadmap line yet. Just has not been like it. We got 2 good strong days and then just sat here for 3 days. Another leg up would be nice to see. Definitely have that resistance right there. And I am still concerned that we may see a lower low, even though the futures had the lowest low right over here. Why am I using futures instead of just the spot market? It's because futures have a centralized price and accounting and all that stuff, whereas the spot markets don't. And spot markets are just dependent on whichever brokerage I pull up, like Coinbase or Binance or whoever. And this right here is the CB or the CFTC, Commodities and Futures Trading. You know, and your CME, you know, whoever runs it's a CME product. So the Chicago Mercantile Exchange certifies this price. All right, CME. It is regulated by the CFTC. And so I pull this up because it's a unified, locked-in price, right, with reconciliation and all that stuff. So, but it is not the spot market. Just like gold futures aren't the gold spot market. Oil futures aren't the oil spot market. Dollar heading up to that resistance zone. Look how many green candles in a row. Holy moly. When's the last time the dollar did that? Almost never. I think right back in here. There's I don't see any period where the dollar was that green. Maybe that little run right there in 2020. See what happened after that. And that set right there looks closest to what we've got. But then everybody knows what happened right here, right? Look for another one. Not as long as the current one. And there's another nice one right there. 2016. And it had a few reds in there. Current run doesn't really have much red at all. Like one little doji. There's a nice one. 2012. Had a couple of little red blip, little doji in there. Now it resulted in a return back to the lows. Took a while, but anyway. I like to go look at candle patterns. That right there, one of the most, golly, I'd have to go way back and look at how far back there's a streak. I may do that later. Like look for how, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 green candles in a row, basically, excluding that one little doji right there. Yeah, I created a tool a while back to figure out how far back some of these things occurred. So Japanese futures, Japanese market, not a big up today. So the question happened in Discord. I think it was Angie. She was asking, does the U.S. market, ES or MES, being up overnight mean that the Asia had a great time? And right there, Asia didn't have a great day today so far. And look at the DAX, the biggest in Europe, and it did have a good day. So it's kind of conflicting, right? Asia, not a great day. I guess you'd have to look at forget what the Chinese market's called. Can't remember. Just can't remember what the Hong Kong, was it the HK? I can't remember. Can't remember the ticker. It's just gone at the moment. Anyway, back into it. Here's the gainers for the day. Target was up in the pre-market. Now getting slammed a little bit. So I'll go and pull. I have a piece of software that now pulls everything moving up $2 or more in the market, in the pre-market, and then down $2 or more in the pre-market. Builds the list here. Quite a few tickers today, and at the bottom I have a bonus trade that's set up on the daily chart with the algorithm that I was talking about. This one is set for a potential rally higher here on this daily chart. We've got the smaller one here and the bigger one here. And we're set to rally up higher on target. Little consolidation here. We may, we possibly can come back to the roadmap line and rally up. The expectation is going higher before going lower. 79% of the time. But the profit factor is kind of like the losses are bigger than the gains. So there you go. It's fired off right there. Fired off. Ready to go. All right. Drop that back down. Turn that back off. KLIC. I would bet that might go lower. Even though it's on the poppers list, be careful. This potentially has a date with this support down here. TSM. Right up to the target. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. Look at that. I know some of you were long this. Congratulations. Right there. Boom. Right on the target. There's NVIDIA crossing 140. Jump over. Breaking out. 149, 150. There's the targets. It's like more blow off. We could go right up here. But as I talked about, we're talking about trillions of dollars to do that. Every dollar this goes higher is $25 billion flowing into this stock. $25 billion. So every 10 bucks move, and when we get to 150, that's $250 billion. We get to 160, that's $500 billion between where we are now and 160. To get to 180, that's $1 trillion. And then it starts being mind bending, right? To move 40 bucks on NVIDIA. Be careful out there. But that's the target right now, 150. AMD, struggling. Lower high. There's the target. TXN. I don't know. Is that a head and shoulder fail? I mean, it doesn't look very clean right now, and it's just kind of drifting off a little bit. Roadmap line would be where I kind of expect it to go. Right there. And we did the bounce. Did we get the extension to the target? We came up just shy of the target, which that works. Probably coming back down to the roadmap line. CLMT. Well, that's at resistance 25.80 on the upside. VRT 118 upside. TECL. Oh, struggling here. If we get that move above 98, probably going up to 125. FLUT. That has been consolidating here at the resistance. We did a common pattern where we pop into this right here, and we did struggle. Look at that. We hit the 90% target, retraced back to the breakout, popped it to the 1272, retraced it back to the breakout again, building up a little volatility. It may pop right up here. But at the same token, if we break down, it could come right down to the roadmap line. So this is why I don't trade this, is because it's not high probability anymore. The high probability move was from the break above, which was actually right here, the break above the 618, even though we got a deep retrace, boom, right up to that one, that target, that purple line. We got the extension target right up to the 1272, and now we're doing who knows what over here. GEV, man, that thing just keeps rocking and rolling. 334 above that. Dell, watch out. We're coming into the resistance where we gap down over here. If we reject that, we may come down here. If we can bust up through it, target's up there. Oop, moving the fibs. Target is that 200, possibly even 220 area up there for Dell. XLK, this is set up the pattern to go to 246 right there. That's the expectation. SOXL is just kind of banging around here under resistance. Not really looking very enthusiastic for a 3x leverage on semiconductors with NVIDIA pushing out to all-time highs. That's really telling me something's wrong with semiconductors here. And we're seeing TSM and NVIDIA, two of the bigger holdings, I do believe. Let's jump into the holdings really quick. Let's see what they've got. If I can figure it out. Will you tell me what they hold? NAV, blah, blah, blah. It may just be a management problem. Yeah, look, they hold US dollars as 21% of their holding. We've got NVIDIA as their biggest holding. And we don't see TSM, though. There it is, down there. Their 10th biggest holding. So NVIDIA is their biggest holding. TSM. Those two rocking and rolling. AMD being lackluster. QCOM probably being lackluster. And MU. Marvell. Oh, Intel definitely dragging this one down. So you should, if you're going to trade an ETF, go make sure you know what the ETF is made up of. And even better, you read the prospectus and find out how it works. How do they get 3x leverage? Now, it's not going to just say, here's what we do. You have to actually know some of the lingo to figure out what they're doing. But you shouldn't trade instruments that you don't know what they're doing. And that one right there looks kind of sucky. Not performing. Not getting above the roadmap line. All right. Back to it. VST. At the targets, watch out for the retrace. COHR. At the targets, watch out for the retrace. LRCX. Looks like we're going down to extension targets. We did the split back here. Splits have not been kind to things lately. Coming on down. BWXT at the targets. Probably going to get a retrace before long. ACLS. Hunting. Oh, man, look at that. We tapped here. We may push all the way down in there on this one. Had a target for a long time. On ACLS. There's Marvell. AVGO kicking off it. Marvell. Looks like we have the upside right up here at 91.80. Be the expectation right up there. SPXL. That's at the targets. That worked out. Congratulations if you wrote it. Protect your profits. Moving on. We got there. STAF. Man. That is volatile, nasty stuff right there. That's about a reverse split. Yep. Dumpster fire. Right there. Don't trade stuff like this. That's likely to continue being complete crap. Heading towards zero. MU. That's got a long way to go to get back up. Now, this is a measured bounce potential with a target way the fudge up here. Talking 250, maybe 500, 600. If you're willing to buy some shares and sit on them, that could be a 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 6x just on shares. And it could take well out into the late 2020s, or maybe early 3030s, maybe mid 3030s. Could take a while. If you believe in magic. Now, it does look a bit like it went a little exponential and we got punished, but that is classic setup to do that right up there. The 2 to 3x would be my expectation right there. DEO. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's not my chant there, Wrong. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know what you're talking about. Diego has a potential measured bounce also, similar to MU. Now, maybe get a double on that one. Maybe not as spicy. ALB, ALAB, Astrolabs. It might retrace here. That did potential move up, and that it played out. First move up off the, yeah, that was it. I do expect a retrace here. Now it could go higher, very well could just extend this last move. Extensions 71, 78, possibly 95, but retrace would be highly likely. SMCI, be careful here. Major resistance at the roadmap line here. If we hit it, could turn down and go finish that bubble pattern. Finish it off right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. All right. TQQQ still on the path for the target. Hadn't lost it yet. Hadn't lost it yet. Now, this is interesting, though. It has not been ramping up nearly as fast as QQQ. QQQ getting a little closer to the breakout here. Still not doing it. But TQQQ still sitting here, down here. You know, the carry costs to get the 3x leverage just not getting the fall through here. This is highly likely to work out on this one. Highly likely. Look at the statistics on this baby. 94% of the time this works out. 17 closed trades, so it's only half of a statistic population. Right there, 94. Profit factor is insane. So there you go. Highly likely to see that play out. Still hold my options. We'll see what happens. I'm out in December on these, and we may run out of time. CLS. Nasty chart. Probably going to retrace back down. I'm not a fan when it's like green into resistance and red. It's like telling you that people are in favor and out of it. Just, we're on it, we're off it. We're on it, we're off it. On or off. That's just like static. Right? Looks like somebody having a heart attack. Down there is the target. Possibly up here if we can break, but I don't know. I don't see this. Like, that's a downtrend of a lot of resistance. Flushing it out would make most sense. QLD potentially popping up to the target at 115. Decliners, ELV. Ooh, ouch. Whew. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Potential to be a bottom here. Potential. And UNH dropped right back to the roadmap line there. MOH, man, healthcare is getting wrecked. Holy cow. May see this one extend further down. to 244 area, MDB. If we can break through the roadmap line here, this is a potential measure bounce. We do have the downtrend of highs. Lots of resistance to get through. The target potentially up here, like 800 to 1,000. That'd be what? Between a 3 and 4x potential on that one. UNH, like I said, getting wrecked. We got hit pretty bad on earnings last week. Potential for that to bounce. If we get up to above the 618 tipsy odds, we may go back up to 620 on that one. Humana still looks like it needs to drop down further. I'm not sure that's found a bottom yet. Definitely not the same kind of chart as United Healthcare. CNC, seeing that one drop out also. CI, not really affected. Look, that's interesting right there. The Cigna group. So Humana and Cigna kind of direct competitors in a lot of the Obamacare markets. And they seem to be doing pretty good. While Humana looks like it's complete garbage. CNC. Yeah. I don't see a low shaping up anytime soon here. This may break down and go lower. This looks like that was the initial drop into that low. That's the retrace. And we may be heading down to 50. Set you, if you're interested in picking up CNC, maybe set the alert down here at 50. And when we get down there, come back and look at it. FUTU, probably coming back down to the roadmap line. Got the breakout high to retest right in here. We get below that, probably definitely coming back into the roadmap line. If not, breaking down. Like I said, China, they put a 5 trillion won band-aid out there. We're bleeding through the band-aid. Lulu coming back up to, weeks ago I said we're going to come retest the roadmap line. Well, here we are. Potentially getting there. If we can break through, retest, and go, that's positive. If we pop up, break down, get below, probably make a lower low. KB at the target, may get a retrace. Drug, imagine that. That chaos still going on. It was a down day yesterday, down day today. Watch out for this too. Bleed the heck off back down here. PDD. Not keen on that. Still the valid trade. Still has a 175 upside target. I like the non-log scale better. 175 upside targets. But we're doing a deep retrace. So the support level you'd want to see hold is coming up at where we gapped up from right there. So if we retest that, you want to see that hold, and we turn and burn to that 175, 180 target right up there. And FTNT. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, for channel members, they can actually use the dumpster fire emoji in the chat. I forget what there's a special character, and I can't remember what it is to get the, my little chat doesn't pull it up automatically. C-Web. I'm using a third-party chat tool to manage YouTube at the moment. C-Web coming back down to the roadmap line. SW, and then there's the bonus coming up. SW, Smurfit, West Rock. I guess the West Rock combined with Smurfit or whatever. And it looks like some sort of combination company. That's 3 waves up into the Yeah. So West Rock combined with Smurfit, I guess. Oh, cool, man. There it goes. And so far, that high and this low are overlapping. That's not great. So here's the supports. We break below that. We'll probably come in lower low. That would be my expectation. All right, bonus trade for the day. I threw a different one out on X. Make sure you go check that out if you want to. You don't have to. Lakeland Financial here. So we've got, I think these are the right ones. Yeah, that looks like the right ones. That high, that low. Target would be 72 up here. So right here we go. 72.49, the official target. Stop below 60. And there's where it closed yesterday, which gives us an upside profit potential of 520. Of course, it's moving now 81% of the time on 22 trades since 1995. Nice, long, solid history. Profit factor 2.5. Usually takes about 52 trading days. So keep that in mind. That's like 90-ish calendar days. 3 months, 3 to 5 months is typically how long these take to work out. So there was your high. There was your low. Here's the entry right there yesterday. That's the entry signal today. Take action. Profit potential right there. $5.21 upside. And that's it. Maybe like, well, there are options. I don't know. I'd probably play it with shares. And 50, what was it? 50, 52. 52. So we're looking at right out in this zone. Yeah, right around 3 months. Now, could it go faster? Absolutely. This could just shoot right up here. Could just keep, we can be there tomorrow. I mean, we could be there today. We can hit it today. So looking for that upside right there. On average, it takes about that long, 3 months to get up there. Alrighty. It's been really volatile lately, if you look at this. So it may just spike that target and move on. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I'll be back same bat time, same bat channel, 9:15 tomorrow morning. Hope you have a great one. And let me know in the chat or let me know in the description, in the comments below if you learned anything today. I have, if you want the roadmap line, links in the description. You want to be a channel member, appreciate it as always. Thank you all for being here. I'll be in Discord hanging out, but I'll be working on that AI thing. It could take me well into next year to get this working, so we'll see, everybody. We'll see. Remember, Term Market Trading Lab people will get access to the results first before anybody else once it's in a workable form. If you're interested in that, call in. I think it's 321-888-3962. Have a great day. Oh, have fun on your cruise. See y'all later. Bye for now.